Can everyone hear me? I cannot hear anyone. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. No? Hare Krishna. Okay. Am I audible? Very well. Did I assume that I'm not audible? I'm not able to hear any of you, if any of you are speaking anything.
Can't hear you, Prabhuji. You're very, very faint.
Now,
Still very faint.
why? I don't know. Okay, can you hear me now? Is it any better or is it worse?
It's better, but it's still quite faint. I mean, it's.
Now,
I think we have a regular problem here with your sound system.
what about now?
So it's a little better, yeah. I mean, it is lower than it should be, but you know, we can. I can hear you. I don't know about other Prabhuji.
Wait, first of all, let me have a look at. No, this is connecting to my other connection. The connection seems okay. What is the problem with the mic? Anyway, I'm sharing the screen. Let me begin. It's, okay. Okay, let's just begin. I'll have to stop at 5:10. Ghananthkararanyanta sopashyan kanchidunmukha nirdharyata dhvanisthanam Yamuna Tiram Amvrajat. He entered a dense, dark forest where he couldn't see anyone. But he discerned the place from which the sound came, and he eagerly went there to the bank of the Yamuna. So thick was the forest that the leaves of the trees left no space for the light of the sun to enter. 1 minute. Ghanam, dense. Nividatamam, it was most dense. Andhakara, with darkness. Ateva Andhakara Yukta. Sada Andhakara Achitatvat, Andhakara Sankyabva. It was so thick that no light entered. Nischitrataya Ravirashmi Pravesha Abhavat Ghanaha Andhakaraka Yasmin Arabha. So in that forest, this was the situation. So he entered into that forest. Kanchit Janava Pashyan Kutoyam Shabda Samayati iti tat Shravanayam Umukasan. He couldn't find any person from whom this sound came, but he became eager and he started walking towards that sound. The Brahmana saw no one but could still hear the sound of Nama Sankirtan, which drew him further on. So, Tasya Sankirtana Dvane Sthanam Aspadam Nirdharya Idantaya Nishchitya Tacha Yamanatiram iti Nirdharya Tatra Jagametya. So he could understand from the direction from which the sound came. Having ascertained that, he walked towards the bank of the Yamuna very eagerly. Tatra Nipak Kunjantar Gopavesha Parichadam Kishoram Sukumarangam Sundaram Tam Udaikshata. There, in a grove of Kadamba trees, he found a handsome young man whose body was very tender, with the dress and accoutrements of a cowherd. So, Tatra Yamanatira, on that bank of Yamuna, Tam Tatha Sankirtanavaram Udaikshata Vipra Ishad Apashya. So the Vipra, he glanced at this person who was absorbed in Sankirtana. Idrisham Ropasyeva Vesha Shikanda Pidadi Bhushanam Panchadascha Venushinga Vetradariyasya. The person the Brahmana discovered was dressed like a cowherd boy with a flute, buffalo horn, and herding stick, and with a peacock feather on his head. Sundaramithyanena Sarva Avayava Saushthavadikam Grihita. Every part of his body appeared auspicious, properly aligned, beautiful. Nijeshtat Devata Bhrantya Gopaleti Mahamuda Samahvayan Pranamaya Papata Vidandavat. Mistaking this person for his worshipful deity, the Brahmana joyfully called out, "O Gopal," and fell to the ground like a rock to offer respects. Tatascha Vipraha Pranamaya Tam Gopakumaram Samyak Abhivanditu Bhuvi Dandavat Papata. Then that Vipra, he wanted to offer obeisances. So he fell on the ground. He wanted to recite his salutation. There is something in there is a standard code of conduct on how to respect a respectable person in Vedic civilization. You offer obeisances and then you do what is called an abhivadana, in which you identify yourself. And you also express the superiority of this person before whom you have offered obeisances. So anyway, there's a procedure. So he wanted to offer his respects to that Gopakumar. Tatra hetu Nijeshta Devataya Shri Madana Gopala Devasya Bhantya Tat Bhushnadi Sadrishyena Saevayam Iti Matva Iti Arthaha. And the reason why he wanted to do that was he mistakenly thought that this was his Shri Madana Gopala Deva, his worshipable deity. Why did he mistake him? Because there was a similarity between his ornamentation and so on. Therefore, he thought this is that person. Kim Kurvan. And what did he do when he offered obeisances? Ha Gopala iti samahvaya mathuram uchai sambodhaya. He very sweetly called out loudly, Gopala Yadva Gopale Tyaksharatrayam Samyak Ahvana Vad Dirgham Madhura Swarena Kirtana. So he uttered these 3 syllables in a drawn out manner. Because the cowherd sitting before the Brahmana was dressed and ornamented just like Madana Gopal. The Brahman thought that this was the deity in person. The Brahman wanted to offer a fitting salutation. So he at once fell flat on the ground and with spontaneous enthusiasm sweetly called out, O Gopal. The offering of these 3 syllables, Gopala, was his way of properly honoring the Lord. Tato jata banirdrishti sasarvagya shivamanihi gyatvatam mathuram vitram kamakhya deshavasinam Shriman Madana Gopalo pasakam cha samagatam nisritya kunja dukthapya natva lingyanya veshaya. This young man was the first jewel of those who know everything. As he regained external consciousness, he recognized his visitor as a Mathura Brahman, living in the district of the goddess Kamakhya and worshipping Shriman Madana Gopal. The young cowherd stood up and came out of the grove, bowed down to the Brahman and embraced him and made him sit down. So because he called out in this manner, and because he offered obeisances and so on, therefore, so Gopakumara, that cowherd boy, Tam Vipram Gyatva, Mano Vishayikritya, he opened his eyes and he recognized this Vipra. Tatracha Mathura Sambandhi Brahmana Kula Vishesha Jatam Mathurodbhavam. He understood that this Brahmana was born in a family of Brahmanas connected to Mathura. So he was, practically speaking, born from Mathura. Tatrapi Kamakhya Devya Adhishkitaha Ya Deshaha Kamarupakyaha Tasman Nivasena. And that he resided in the place known as Kamakhya, the place of Kamakhya, the place resided over by Kamakhya Devi. Mitram Tad Devi Pujana Adina Kritavasa. Specifically, he resided in that place with worship of that Devi and so on. So it is implied that he understood that he came from such a far place. Tatrapi Shriman Madana Gopala Pada Padma Upasakam Gyatva. And then he also recognized that he is a worshipper of the lotus feet of Shriman Madana Gopal. Tatrapi Samagatam. Tena Prakarana Samyak Agatam Gyatva. And he understood that through various means he has come to this place. Yadva. Shri Radha Dev Yagya Swayam Yadartham Tan Nikunji Pratar Agatam. Tam Samagatam Sampraptam Gyatva. Actually, as we will learn later on, this Gopakumara, he was ordered by Srimati Radha Rani to go and meet this Mathura Brahmin. So the purpose for which he was sent early morning to that particular grove, he had that Vipra, he had come for a certain purpose, knowing that Radharani had sent Madanapal from the spiritual world to this world. Kunjan Nisritya. So he came out of that grove from Natva, Bhumitala Uthapya, Paschadalingya. He bowed down to the Brahmana, and then he raised this Brahmana, and then he embraced him. Upaveshayamasa iti dvabhyam anvayam. And then he made him sit down. The cowherd knew without being told that his guest was a Brahmana who had traveled to Vrindavan from a long distance. More specifically, he knew that his visitor was the child of a Brahmin family of Mathura who had moved to the Kamrupa district in Assam to worship the presiding goddess Kamakhya. Furthermore, the young cowherd knew that Brahman was now worshipping the lotus feet of Sriman Madanagopal and had come for some special purpose of the Lord's. Actually, Sri Radha Devi had ordered the cowherd to go to the grove that morning. So he bowed down to his guest, raised him from the ground, embraced him, and invited him to sit down. Athatithyena santoshya vishwasotpadanayasa kinchittena tena anubhutam yat yanjayamasa sasmitam. To further gain the Brahmin's confidence, the cowherd pleased him with hospitality and then smiled and revealed something about the Brahmin's life. Atithyena swagatadina tad deshakalat uchittena tena viprena devyarathanam arabhya atra agavana paryantam yatanuhutam asti tat kinchit sankhepena sa gopakumaram yanjayamasa. So, apart from welcoming him as a proper host and so on, as appropriate to that place and time and so on, he revealed that Gopakumara revealed in brief everything that had been experienced by that Vipra, beginning with the worship of that Devi until his arrival at that spot. Viprasya hridistham api vachanena ingita adina prakasham nirmya chaturya kasayamasa ityartha. So, through his speech, through his body language, he revealed what was in the heart of that Vipra. In a very intelligent manner, he revealed in brief the experience of that Vipra. Kimartham? Why? Vakshamana nija vachanado vishwasasya utpadanaya. In order to generate conviction, faith in what he was about to speak. Anyatha paramadbhute arthe tat pratite rasambhava. Otherwise, it is impossible to make him believe in that which he is going to speak, which will be supremely wonderful, astonishing. The young cowherd, Gopakumar, treated his Brahmin guest in a manner befitting the time and place, and then briefly recounted what had happened in the Brahmin's life, beginning with his worship of the goddess Kamakhya, and leading up to his coming to this place on the shore of the Yamuna. The cowherd expertly revealed things hidden in the Brahmin's heart that no one else could have known. Why did he do this? He wanted to win the Brahmin's trust so that the Brahmin would believe what he was about to be told. Otherwise, the Brahmin might be skeptical about Gopakumar's fantastic story. Buddha Gopakumaram tam labdve vatma priyam muda vishwasto kathayat tasmin swavrittam brahmano khilam. The Brahmana now understood that this was a young cowherd boy and accepted him as if the boy were a dear friend. Happily trusting him, the Brahmin then recounted his own entire love story. Gopakumaram iti sarva sadguna rupa sampanno Gopakumara kaschidayam. Natumatu Vasadeva iti Vidvan. So now the Vipra, he understood that this is a cowherd boy who is endowed with all auspiciousness and all good qualities, beauty. He is not my worshipable deity. Iti buddhva iti artha. Atmapriyam nijasuprit tamameva. And then, yeah, accepted him as if he was his dearest well-wisher. When the Brahman understood that this was not his worshipful Lord, but a cowherd with all good qualities, the Brahmana relaxed. Sakarpanyam midam chasav prashtitah punarabhravi tam sarvajya varam matva sattamam gopanandanam. Then with great humility, considering this young child of the cowherds, the best of wise men, and a great saint, the Brahmana submissively added an inquiry. Karpanyam, dainyam, tena sahitam yathasya. So he became very humble. Idam vakshamanam sutva, ityadi shloka panchakam. So then he spoke 5 verses from text 98 onwards. Aso Brahmana Prashrita Granayuta son. He was humble, he was very submissive. Why was he so humble and so on? Because he understood that this young child of the cowherds was the best of the omniscient, and he was the most saintly person. Sri Brahmana Vacha Shukva Bahuvidam Sadhyam Sadhanam Chetatastata Prapyam Krityam Chindirnaitam Nakinchit Shakyate Maya. The Brahmana said, from various sources I've heard of various goals and various methods to achieve them. But still I cannot definitely decide what goal I should strive for and what I should do to reach it. Sadhyam, Alam, Swargamokshadi Rupena. So he had heard about various goals, various results to be obtained. The celestial world of Swarga, liberation, and so on. Bahuvidam Sadhanam. He had heard about different processes that could lead to these desired goals, desirable goals. Sadhanam cha tattaprapti hetu karma jnana virupena, in the form of the process of karma, the process of jnana, and so on. Bahuvidam, of different types, of various types. Tatas tato gangatira kashyado. So from all these different places, from the banks of Ganga, from Kashi, Varanasi, and so on. But sadhana sadhya madhye kinchit prapti sarva sadhanena labhyam krityam cha tadartham avashya kartavyam sadhanam nirnayitam idantaya nishchetum na shakyate. But I could not understand, amongst all those goals and means to attain those goals, what is the result that is meant to be attained by all these processes? And which process is certainly meant to be executed in order to attain that result? That I have not been able to ascertain for sure. Tat bahula vada shravanena anekantya. Because I had heard so many different opinions, and they are not I did not hear a harmonious expression. I heard different things, so it is all in disharmony with each other. On the bank of the Ganga, at Kashi and elsewhere, the Brahmana had heard various kinds of spiritual advice. he had heard in one place that heaven is the ultimate goal of life, and another that liberation from the cycle of birth and death is the goal. And as for means of success, he had heard claims that karma was the means, or jnana, or other methods. No wonder he was confused. Yachadev yagyaya kinchit anutthametyashah tasyapi kim phalam taccha katamat karma vedmina. Whatever the God has ordered me, I regularly do. But I have no idea about the results of those duties, or even what kind of acts they are. Tarhi katham mantram japasi tatra hayachayati. In that case, if you are so confused, why do you chant this mantra in japa? Anticipating this question, he speaks this text. Kinchit grihi yati karmanam vistara apekshaya mantra anushthanasya sankshepa. The word kinchit here, kinchit anudishthan. Whatever the God has ordered. The instructions of the goddess was very brief in comparison to the descriptions of the duties of the householders, sannyasis, and so on. It was a very simple process pertaining to the chanting of the mantra. Devi Adesha Adaradeva Japan. I engage in that mantra chanting simply out of respect for the instruction of Devi. Natu tat tattvagyana ityartha. It is not because I am aware of the truth pertaining to the process that she taught me. Tacha karma prayojanam katamat dharmaha jnanam bhaktir vetina vedmi. So I don't know what kind of act she has engaged me in. And I don't know the reason for which she has engaged me in this. I don't know whether it is just dharma, material dharma, or whether it is the process of jnana, or whether it is the process of bhakti. Atah shraddhadya bhava kriyamana api tad akriyamana neva bhati bhava. Because I don't have shraddha, faith, enthusiasm, respect, interest, and so on. Even when engaged in this activity, it appears to me that I am not engaged in this activity at all. That is his intention. Here. If the Brahmin did not know what the goal of his endeavor was and how he might achieve it, why was he continuing to chant this mantra? He was doing so because he had respect for the order of the goddess Kamakya. The little she had asked him to do, namely chant this mantra, was not much compared to the complex duties of householders and sannyasis that he had learned about from others. He continued chanting out of reverence for the goddess, not because he understood the essence of what he was doing. He was even unaware whether this chanting belonged to the category of ritual duties, cultivation of knowledge, or devotional service. Therefore, he thought, since his practice was not based on definite knowledge and faith, it had no real value for his spiritual advancement. Tenedam phalam janma manvana kamayan mritim param jivami kripaya shivayor madhavasya cha. I therefore think my life worthless and I simply want to die. I continue to live only by the mercy of Lord Madhava and Lord Shiva and his wife. Tena sadhya sadhana nirnaya bhava tattat rahitya. Because I am unable to ascertain the ultimate goal and the compulsory sadhana that leads to that goal. Without this knowledge, I think my life is worthless. Nanveru nirveda dukhyena katham pranan dharayasi. If you are suffering from because of this distress of frustration, then how is it that you are still holding on to your life? Tatraha parameti. Now I continue to live only by the mercy of Lord Madhav, Lord Shiva and his wife. Shivayo, Shivaya, Hamakyaya, Hamakyaya Devya, Shivasya, Shri Vishweswarasya, Tat Tat Krita, Tat Tat Upadesha, Ashwasana Balenaiva, Nam Mriye, Ityartha. It is simply by the mercy of Shiva, long A. Shiva is Parvati. Shiva, short A, that is her husband, Lord Maheshwara. So it is by the mercy of Shiva, Amakya Devi, as well as Shiva, Lord Sri Vishweshwara, the deity of Kashi. It is because of their instructions, their consoling me and so on. That has been my strength. And it is because of that that I don't die. It was at Prayag that the Brahman had reached this point of crisis in his spiritual life. There also, however, he had received the grace of Lord Vishnu in the form of Sri Madhava and of Lord Vishweshwara and his wife Hamaksha Devi, who had all appeared in dreams to give him guidance. Tayaiva Tradya Sarvagyam. Tayaiva Tradya Sarvagyam. Dayalum Tvam Swadeva Vat Prapya Prishta Prasannosmi Tripanam Mam Samudhara. Only by their mercy have I met you here, a compassionate and all-knowing person. You are just like my worshipable deities. And I am very happy and satisfied to meet you. Now please deliver this wretched soul. Tesham kripa lakshanam cha adya anubhutam ityaha tayeti. Now I am experiencing the mercy bestowed by all of them. Tesham kripa yaiva swadeva matupasya Shri Madana Gopala Devam Iva Kripana Martha Mam Samudhara. By their mercy, please deliver me, who I am so distressed, just as my worshipable Shri Madana Gopala Dev was delivered me. Tat tat samshaya sagara uttarya paramartha upadeshena samsara arnavat sukhena uddhara. Please deliver me from this ocean of doubts pertaining to the goal, sadhya, and the means, sadhana. Please happily deliver me from this ocean of samsara, cycle of birth and death, through spiritual instructions. At Prayag, the Brahmin received the mercy of Sri Madhava, Vishweshwara, and Kamakhya Devi. But only in Vrindavan could he understand the inestimable value of that mercy. Now he is confident that Gopakumar is as good as Lord Madana Gopal. In other words, Gopakumar's transcendental instructions can easily lift him out of the ocean of his doubts and out of the vast ocean of material existence. Nishamya sadaram tasya vachanam savya chintayam etasya kritakrityasya jata purnartha killer. That's a mistake here. It's not killer, it's killer. The Parikshit said, respectfully, having heard the Brahman's words, the young cowherd thought, this person has done everything he needs to do. Indeed, his life is a complete success. So, Adar, with respect, Adaraha, Bahumanaha, Pritirva, Tena Haitatasya. He heard this Brahman's words with respect, with honor, with love. Tatha Nishamyasa Gopakumaraha having respectfully heard these Brahmins' words, the cowherd boy thought, Chintanamevaha, and his thought was as follows. Etasya ityadina hitam bhavet yaten. His thought begins from the second half of this verse, and it goes till text 108. Etasya Sri Madanagopala Deva Upasakasya Mathura Viprasya Purnartha Jata Eva Ase Kila iti nirdhare Bhavanayam. His life is a complete success. He is a worshipper of Sri Madanagopala Deva. He is a Vipra from Mathura. Isn't it? The word Adar is usually understood to mean respect, but it can also mean affection. With respect for the Brahmin status as the Mathura Brahmin, and with a special affinity for him as a fellow worshipper of Sri Madanagopal, Gopakumar heard him out. Texts 102 to 108 describe Gopakumar's thoughtful concern for the Brahmin. Kevalam tat padam bhoja sakshadi kshava shishyate tad japer hatyana tad japer hati nasakyam kintu tannama kirtane. All that remains for him to achieve is to see directly the lotus feet of the Lord. He needs to become attached, not so much to the solitary chanting of the Lord's mantra, but to the sankirtana of his names. Tasya Sri Madanagopala Devasya Tayorva Padam Bhujayo Sakshad Iksha Eva Avashishtastu. The only thing that remains is to see Sri Madanagopala Deva or his lotus feet. To see means to directly see. That's tasma. Therefore, Tasya Sri Madanagopala Devasya Nam Kirtana Eva Asaktim Chitta Abhiniveshana. Therefore, his mind is meant to be attached to the Kirtana of the names of that Sri Madanagopala Deva. Because it is through that you attain direct audience of Lord Madanagopala. When received by Pancharatric initiation in a Vaishnava Sampradaya, Vishnu mantras delivered the chanter from delusion and provided him liberation and entrance into the divine life of devotional service. But the highest standard of pure love of God is obtainable not by the Pancharatric Vidhi, but by the Bhagavata Vidhi of Nama Sankirtan, worship of Krishna's names without material motives. The Parag Jyotishpur Brahmana had been chanting the 10-syllable Gopal mantra for some time with good effect. But only after he heard the Shuddha Naam from Gopakumar was he able to chant the same names of Lord Gopal in the perfect consciousness of Sankirtan. Offenseless Sankirtan with concentrated attention naturally develops into spontaneous attraction to Krishna and his loving soul. Okay, I'm going to stop now. If you have any questions, you can post it in the Telegram group. We'll resume next week. Okay, good. I'll just make a note that we can resume from text 104. Okay. I'm trying to put the rest of the person to the Vaishnava.